and welcome to another overview of the Rockdale city. I wasn't actually sure if this should be an overview or tips and tricks video because I'm going to be talking about the industrial zone, which I already featured in the tips and tricks series in the first episode. But since I'm not going to be showing you any actual new tricks or tips, then I decided to do this as the overview video. So what is this video going to be about? As you can see, we are looking at the industrial zone, but it looks completely different from the industrial zone that I had in this place before this. Now, the previous industrial zone had the vanilla buildings, the vanilla train stations, and also the vanilla industrial buildings, the zoning buildings. And since then, I have replaced pretty much all of those for these big factory halls and warehouses and, just industrial looking buildings to kind of make it more realistic. So that's what we are going to look at today. The main principle of the zone did not change. We still have pretty much the basics unchanged, just like I showed them, just like I explained them in the first tips and tricks video, which you can, by the way, just you can click here and go see that to see how the industrial zone works, what is the main working principle, how the roads are placed, where the traffic goes, and so on. So make sure to check that out. And now I'm going to show you kind of how I reworked the zone to make it look nicer like this. So as you can see, again, as I said, I'm using these big factory halls from the Steam workshop. I'm also using different cargo train station. I also using different passenger station. Pretty much everything is different. Now that I look at this, pretty much just the incinerator here is a vanilla building. Otherwise, everything is from the workshop now. If you've seen the tips and tricks video on the industrial zone, you could have seen that the main feature of the overall layout, the design, were these long industrial kind of alleys or lanes. There were 3 lanes on each side. Now I only have 2 because the buildings got a lot bigger. That's kind of obvious. But as I said, the main principle did not really change. Although from the previous video, from the tips and tricks state of the industrial zone, we definitely improved aesthetics and we may have decreased efficiency in this zone. That's kind of, how it is pretty much in life as well. If you have increased aesthetics, you usually do have decreased efficiency or just function in general. But I think the overall trade-off is very good. And even though we may have slightly decreased efficiency because of a lot of intersections with roads that are basically not really doing anything. I even have banned traffic on these roads. As I said, slightly decreased efficiency, but aesthetics went up by a lot more. So the overall trade-off is definitely worth it in my opinion. We added some of these like side roads here to just fill the empty spaces, with industrial buildings. Then I did a lot of these like parking lots, parking garages as well. I'm not exactly sure if this industrial zone is a car manufacturing factory, but maybe, because these buildings from the workshop are actually, they are supposed to be copies or recreations of factory halls from the Volkswagen factory in Wolfsburg in Germany. So these factories are definitely, in real life, they are making cars, or cars are being made inside. So that's why I kind of went with the parking lots in a lot of these unused areas. And I think it looks very, very nice. I especially like how we managed to make the industrial zone kind of look very nice with the highway. We definitely managed to kind of break the overall box shape. It's not exactly finished. I am planning on expanding the industrial zone maybe even into this area in the future after the city reaches like, I don't know, 500,000 population. Probably it's not going to happen anytime soon, but in the future it probably will. Another changes I did, again, no function changes, that pretty much ended, stayed like it always was, but we did change how these roads look, how they kind of split and merge. I optimized that a bit, made it a bit more efficient. For example, in this area, if you remember, we had that loop that kind of looped around the first cargo station. I completely got rid of that. I did not exactly like that. And instead we are doing, for example, this. That's like the one small change that we did. Also the service vehicles return path, that is now this little street down here. So again, the basic principle did not change, but the overall looks definitely did. Again, I used a lot of workshop buildings. There's pretty much no vanilla building except maybe for the incinerator. And it definitely looks nice. In the future, I kind of plan on building a tram line that's going to go along the river on this main avenue. This is kind of the main entrance, our main worker entrance, our main public transport entrance to the entire area. I built this. This is supposed to be a highway pillar, but I built it as some kind of a gate. We have the main offices near the middle. I was even thinking that this might have been like some kind of a factory museum for public, you know, actual museum, although this is a train museum in here, but I thought it might be looking nice. So, as I said, might actually expand the industrial zone into this direction in the future, but so far, or in this state, it is finished. It is going to stay here exactly like this. I'm going to do some more shots of the finished zone with some nice music, as I did in the previous overview video. As always, if you would like to see me play this city live, if you would like to see me how I do things in real life or in real time, then check out my Twitch channel. You can even go there, offer some suggestions, or just ask some questions, whatever you like. I would really appreciate you being there. But this is where my commentary ends. Again, as I said, I'm going to run some nice shots of the area, and I'm going to see you on the next video. So thank you for watching, and until next time, take care. Goodbye.